Welcome back. The second month of the university lecture strike today. They made their protest known. They were seeking audience with the Treasury and the Education Cabinet Secretary. They did not get that. We're tonight seeking solutions with my guests. I'd like to go to you, Bridget in Eldoret. Thank you for speaking with us on the big story tonight. We've heard from Robinson how the students at Jomo Kenyatta are being affected. What is it like for the students at Moi University?
Okay, Yvonne, thank you for this chance. My name is Bridget Siante. I am a student leader at Moi University, and the lecturer strike has affected us for so many days. It's the fourth strike in 12 months, and back in school, the students have gone home. There are no classes, and I think it's about time the lecturers and the government sit down and find a solution to this. Because as students, we are tired of going home and coming back, going home and coming back. And we enrolled for a four-year course. We as students are wondering that it will get to the 7th year and we've not completed the course we enrolled for. So we would really like the government and the lecturers to sit down and find a solution. Because most of the time, we are the ones who are suffering because our parents are paying school fees, we are paying rent, but we are not going to class. So we feel like the fees that we are paying is going to waste. So personally, I would like to urge the government and the lecturers and us who at large to sit down and find a solution because we are tired of having strikes yearly, year in, year out.
Okay.
Because we've had the strike 4 times in 12 months.
Indeed, yes, since January last year. So where do you think the sticking points are in this? Robinson says, you know, there's enough blame to go around between the lecturers and the university and indeed the cabinet secretary. Where do you think the solution lies, Bridget?
The only solution here as students, we feel that one of the sides is not owing to the CBA pact. They had a CBA pact. So one side feels like the other side was disloyal to their pact. So I think it's about time they sat down and discussed everything in open. And like my counterpart has said, the lecturers do not have good faith because they are not bringing out they are not giving us the clear details on what they want the government to do for them. So I think they should have a clear pact. They should have a clear, I think the government should sit down with the lecturers and have a solution, an amicable solution, because we are tired of having lecturer strike day in, day out. So they should sit down and discuss what they want. They should not have short-term solutions. They should have long-term solutions, because one day this year it's me who is we are not the first students in university. We are going to leave this place, and there are also going to be others who will enroll. So we want long-term solutions that will ensure that these strikes don't go on year in, year out, because if this continues, then the students are going to be striking because
right, Bridget, your point is made.
If both
Bridget, your point is made. I would just like to thank you. I would just like to throw that to Muiga now, because Muiga, the 2 students on the show tonight saying there's no good faith on the part of the lecturers.
Maybe first of all, I must emphasis with the over 600,000 students who have had their studies to be cut somehow. But I want to say, because of this strike, but I want to say that by genetic extrapolation, Yvonne, almost every lecturer in the university have a son or a daughter in the university who is a student. By virtue of that, it says that we also actually have our own children who are not in class as we are talking now. Like personally, I have one who is at home as we are talking because he's also a student in public universities. But what I want to emphasize on that is that this time, Madam Yvonne, we realized last year we had to go on for 3 strikes simply because we are promised this, or a court order comes and we call off the strike, and we have again to call it on again after a few months.
Okay.
But this time we have actually resolved that we go on for just 1 strike and then we resolve all our matters with the government.
All right. So
yes.
let me ask you this.
Yes.
The university, through their lawyer,
Yes.
said this, that described the strike as, quote, creating an atmosphere under which negotiations cannot be held. She said this of the lecturers. How sure are you then? First of all, I'd like your response to that.
Yes.
But then you say this is the last strike, hopefully.
Yes.
What guarantees do you have that this will be the last one?
First of all, the first question is concerning what clear timelines we want to get from the courts and from the government so that we clear this matter once and for all. What we are saying is that, as I explained earlier, if we just get a counter offer which is not negotiated, signed, registered, and implemented, it means there will still be another gap and the possibility of another strike. What we want is a clear-cut timelines at the path where we are going to complete negotiations of 2017-2021 CBA so that we don't have to come back to that matter again. Number two, we realize anytime we agree with the government on something, like last year we agreed on 10 billion. They gave 4.8 billion first as the first tranche. We had to go on strike to get 5.2 billion to cover up, to cover up the difference. After that, after getting the 10 billion now, which catered for the arrears from 2013 to 2017, June 30th, we had again to go on another strike to get the money to which was supposed to now upgrade our payroll to the new CBA terms. So we realized that the best thing is to go to have a matter that is conclusive with the government so that we don't have to go back on the table.
Okay, let me ask
yes.
my question again, Mwiga.
Yes.
Number one, you are being accused of creating an atmosphere under which negotiations cannot be held. I would like a reaction from you
yes.
To that statement that was made by the universities through their lawyer.
That is not true because, Madam Yvonne, we have had 4 missed deadlines for negotiating 2017-2021 CBA. The first deadline was missed on 14th May 2017. The second deadline, after we signed a return to work, we had agreed that we must complete the CBA. The second deadline was missed on 1st July 2017. The third deadline was missed on 31st January 2018, all of them having been pre-agreed by the IPUCCF. When they missed the 31st January 2018, we agreed that the cabinet secretary is new in the ministry and we can give them more time. We gave them another 21 days because we called our strike, we gave our notice on 21st February 2018, and we started our strike on 1st March 2018. That means from 31st January to 1st March, we had a whole month, extra month. We added the IPUCCF so that we can negotiate.
So you're saying it's the government that hasn't met their side of the bargain?
It means we have had every goodwill. We have given the government every goodwill.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, that is understood. So why do you think this will be any different? Case in point today, you are marching and seeking audience today from Treasury and the Ministry of Education.
Yes.
Under which you fall. Did you get the audience that you were seeking today during your protest march? In fact, we know that was, in fact, dispersed by the police.
Yes.
So what makes you confident that this time around you will get heard?
Yvonne, I think we need a serious conversation in the Ministry of Education. Since we went on this strike, the cabinet secretary has never commented on this strike except the last 2 weeks when we visited her office on demonstration and she came down and addressed to us. She has been concentrating on basic education in the lower education sector. In fact, today I hear she was at Mererike Girls Secondary School's prize giving ceremony. But she had promised 2 weeks ago that she's going to deal with our matter expeditiously within the shortest time possible. Today, when we went and met her peers, Professor Ntiba, he actually confessed that he received the Vice Chancellor's proposal yesterday. So you can imagine, a CS came into the ministry 2 months ago, promised to act expeditiously, but his peers, who is in charge of higher education sector, received the Vice Chancellor's proposal yesterday. That means there is a problem with the way we deal with. There is a systemic problem.
Okay.
Yes,
I would
the
like
whole
to.
system.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear from the students now. Here's another tweet from Jackie Nzisa. You say, I'm the deputy president, I imagine, of the Students' Union of the Technical University of Nairobi. Believe me when I say students are suffering, spending on meals and rent, especially for those from upcountry, and the uncertainty of whether to go home or to hold on a little longer. So, Robinson, what next for you? Students are the biggest stakeholders. You're hearing what Muiga Rugara has to say tonight. So, what are students prepared to do to perhaps bring both sides to the table? Or is that something you're thinking of doing?
We have previously engaged the Cabinet Secretary, Amina Mohammed, and I can comfortably say right now on national television that she has taken this matter and swept it under the mat, simply because she is concentrating on matters of, I don't want to say they are of lesser significance, but a university is a place that nurtures talent and nurtures people who are going to drive the economy of this country. And by the fact that the government is let's say, significantly and confidently not responding to calls by UASU to meetings. And just as you've heard, UASU has made an effort to call the government to speak. And you can see that right now here, by the fact that the government is not represented even in this panel that we're speaking, it can show something about the government. And we want to state this clearly. We are spending a lot of money on campus for those of us who are still around campuses. The parents are spending a lot of money, and some of these lecturers are parents. The government is composed of civil servants who are parents in these universities, and they are paying too much. They are paying through the nose to make sure that we at least complete the university education in due time. Right now, we have been given an excess time because personally, I'm a fifth-year student of civil engineering. I was to complete my semester by the end of this month that we're starting. But right now, it is not going to be so, simply because we are having a long overdue standoff between the government and UASU. We are tired of this. Comrades are tired of wasting time. Comrades are tired of engaging in other behaviors that they are not constructive in their lives. We want to go back to class. We want the lecturers back to class. We want to continue learning. We are tired of sitting idle. And the biggest predicament, as I've said before, is an idle youth.
Okay. And it's important that you mentioned the government is not represented. I would like to state here that our lead reporter, Sophia Wanuna, did reach out to the Cabinet Secretary, and we were informed that they're waiting to give a comprehensive statement. They're waiting for more data to be able to do so. So, Bridget, I want to hear from you now. So what next for you? Because we heard from the lecturers today that they said students should be prepared to go home. They're prepared to go all the way if it takes 2 years. So, what's next for you?
Okay, we would like the lecturers to give us a way forward because most of us are in school and we would really like to know our fate. We want to go home, or should we go home or should we stay in school? Because like in my school, the fourth years joined school in 2012 and they don't know when they're going to begin their second semester. They really want to finish school and go. Even us who are at home on holiday, we need to know when we are coming back to school. So I think we are wasting so much time going home and coming back. So the government should just let us be in school, deal with the lecturers, and we want to resume classes as soon as Friday.
You have the last word. Bridget wants to remain in school. Earlier today, we heard your colleague saying everyone should go home, that this will take as long as it does. So what's your message to students tonight, some of whom, as you say, are your children?
Yvonne? Yes. In fact, I thought it is necessary we castigate the Minister of Education and especially also the Vice Chancellors. 1 month down the line, no university have officially closed. It means students are staying in the university without going to class. That one is a problem that needs to be investigated. Either they are sabotaging the government, or they have a hidden agenda with the students.
So should they close the universities?
I believe the students should not be kept in the university when there is no learning. Because I can assure you, 70% of main campuses in all public universities are not learning. Number two, the CS education need to rethink her strategy, because she is concentrating on lower education sector, which Matiang'i had done a great deal of reforms. I think the next phase of reforms was supposed to be in higher education sector, and she has not bothered to think about how to reform the higher education sector, because the higher education is in troubles as we are talking now. We need a serious conversation on how to manage our higher education sector. We need the CS education to rethink how she's going to handle higher education sector, and if she doesn't have any blueprint, because I heard her the other day saying that she wants to do a staff audit. You can imagine a CS comes into the ministry and they want to do staff audit. Does it mean that in the public university, does it mean the Minister of Education has no staff, has no clear figures of who are her staff?
So are you saying her priorities are misplaced?
They are misplaced to some extent. All the statements she's producing are delaying tactics, because you can't talk. She also talks about job evaluation. We have a court ruling which was between the CS education, the CS health, and the Association of Nurses, the Nurses Union, which declared that CBA negotiations are not based on job evaluation. And now she has started saying that she wants to wait for job evaluation for her to be able to give account over. To me, that is a lame excuse that they are trying to produce here and there just to delay the issue of attending to lecturers.
Muiga, in one word, how long are you prepared to go with this strike?
I think we can only say that we need to conclude this matter once and for all. We don't want to call on for 2 strikes or 3 strikes. The CBA 2017-2021 is a 4-year cycle CBA. 1 year is almost ending. We don't want to call for any other strike concerning the CBA within the next 3 years. So we want to go on until we conclude this CBA once and for all.
Until you conclude the CBA once and for all. Thank you very much, Muiga Rugara. Thank you to Bridget Siante, as well as Robinson Asman from Moi University and Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, respectively. I thank you all for your time. That's our show this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Yvonne.